You know, I originally had a whole intro plan based off of what I remembered from playing this game for the first time. But playing it again made me realize how much this game sucks, so screw it. Cue the intro! Did you know this game isn't the real Super Mario Bros. 2? Yeah, I know! Wowzers! Okay, I know it's not a secret at this point. It's already widely known that the US version of Super Mario Bros. 2 is a reskinned Japan-only game, Doki Doki Panic. For this anthology series, I decided not to play the original Mario 2. I would like to keep my sanity. Because this is a reskinned game, all of the mechanics are from Doki Doki Panic. The only Mario elements from Mario 1 are the characters and some power-ups. More on that later. One aspect of the game that was changed is the music. It's never really talked about when the two games come up, because it's mainly just added parts to existing songs or entirely new ones. For example, the stories, however, are pretty similar. While the characters in Doki Doki Panic enter a book to save their parents, Mario finds a new world called Subcon by entering a cave randomly. He must now save the inhabitants of Subcon from a giant frog named Wart, who never makes a return in any of the other Mario games. However, Mario is not alone on this adventure. Unlike the first game, he has some backup from Luigi, Peach, and Toad. That's right, you can now play as a total of 4 characters, and it's not just cosmetic changes. Each character has a unique ability. Mario is the balanced character. He's not too slow or fast, and his jump height is good enough. Definitely the easiest character to use for beginners. Luigi is slightly slower than Mario, but is able to jump higher. The downside is Luigi's poor air control. Toad is the fastest character out of the 4 and can pick up items quickly. However, the downside is his low jump height. Peach is the slowest character, but makes up for it by floating in the air for a brief period of time. This is great for any level with treacherous pits or ice levels. I love the option of multiple characters. It allows me to choose how I want to tackle certain levels, but that requires some knowledge of the game. It's a double-edged sword in this case, because I did not remember all the levels correctly and went in unprepared. In order to change characters, I had to wait till I got a game over and continue. However, using a continue brought me back to the beginning of the world. Now I have to replay the previous level to get back to the one I used the wrong character on. It wouldn't be such a big deal if I had more than 2 continues to use. Quick side note, retry doesn't start you at the current level. It restarts the entire game. Found that out the hard way. If it wasn't noticeable already, the core gameplay has also changed. Mario and friends can no longer jump on enemies to defeat them. Instead, they need to pick them up and throw them in others or into a pit. Also, classic Mario enemies are absent from the game, such as Goombas, Koopas, and Cheep Cheeps. However, some of the new enemies have made their way into other Mario games like Shy Guys, Bob-ombs, and Birdo, who all make their debut. Item blocks are absent as well. Instead, characters must pluck roots from the ground to pick up items to throw at enemies. Occasionally you can find a 1-up, but most of the time it's just random vegetables. Throwing these new items is downright terrible. Sometimes I will throw an item straight down when I want to throw it far in front of me. This is a problem when holding bombs. I lost plenty of health because I threw it right in front of me instead of far away. Power-ups don't technically exist anymore due to a health bar being introduced. The only 2 power-ups in the game are the Super Mushroom and the Starman. These can be found by plucking a potion out of the ground, which reveals a secret door to subspace. Coins are also plucked out of the ground here, which is currency to use for the slot machines at the end of each level. The slot machine seems random when it comes to granting rewards. I don't quite understand why some of the patterns work and others don't, but if you get a good pattern, extra lives are granted. The Starman, on the other hand, can only be obtained by collecting 5 cherries scattered throughout all the levels. It sucks power-ups don't have a place in this game. It's a staple of the Mario series, and it's what gives the Mario games extra charm. The graphics have seen a modest upgrade since the last game. Everything is more colorful and the enemies pop out more. Character sprites have also seen an improvement. Faces can be made out and animations overall are much better. The overall level designs could have been better. A few of them are great, like 3-1 where you have to scale a waterfall to get to the sky, and 4-2 where you can jump across multiple whales. The final level is also great because it allows for quite a bit of exploration. I feel Mario 1's level design was better due to the straightforward design, which made it fun to run through the levels. In this game, you don't get much of that. It's a lot slower paced. That might be because of the overall running speed being slower, but not even Toad matches the speed and feel of the original. But that doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things because NES difficulty is definitely in this game. In Mario 1, the game was difficult, but most of the time NES difficulty didn't exist aside from the Hammer Bro. In this game, they think difficulty is just throwing a bunch of enemies on screen along with bad enemy placement. Whenever you come out of a ladder or pipe, bam! Enemies surround you or just hit you, and there's nothing you can do about it since you lose control. Bosses are also reused constantly. Now I know what you're thinking, but they reused the Bowser boss 8 times in the previous game and you didn't care! Yeah, that was an issue, but they were spread out just enough to where it wasn't a bother. In this game, you face a boss after every level, and that's Birdo. While some of the Birdos do have variants, they're still the same fight and it gets tiresome very quickly. Bosses aside from Birdo are used again like Mauser. Instead of hitting him 3 times, you now have to hit him 6 times. Oh! You also have to face Triclide 2 times, but it's still the same fight. The only standout boss because of this is Fry Guy. After hitting him 3 times, he breaks apart into 4 mini versions. Each one you defeat causes them to get faster. Also, hitboxes suck. It wasn't too noticeable until I got to Birdo. I tried ducking under the eggs and I died, and being small doesn't change anything either. If you couldn't tell already, I'm not a fan of this game. It took a departure from what made the original games great. The game is the same as Doki Doki, despite changing the sprites. This does not make the game good just because it has Mario in it. What made Mario great was the simple level design, secrets to discover, and the unique power-up system. Just do yourself a favor and skip this game, unless curiosity gets a hold of you. But what do I know? I'm just some random guy on the internet who decided to make a video series on one of his favorite video game franchises.